The second critical inner life issue of every leader is lead out of your marriage or singleness. Now, this pervasive disconnect between our leadership and our status as marrieds or singles is so pronounced, and it's so considered normal that only a powerful theological vision from God can reverse this dangerous state of affairs. Now, the unspoken message from married leaders often goes something like this: seek first the kingdom of God, build the church, and everything else will be added to you. And that includes a blessed marriage and family. The not so subtle message to most single leaders is, you would have a broader, more effective ministry if you were married. The way most of us think about marriage and singleness goes something like this. Well, a leader's highest priority is to build a successful ministry for Christ's sake. Marriage is important, or singleness is important, but it's really secondary on the priority list. Or another way we typically think of it is, our oneness and unity with Jesus is separate from our oneness, unity, and connection with our spouse, or if we're single, our close friends and family. It goes something like this: how a decision might impact a leader's marriage or singleness really is secondary, and that's not the primary consideration as we're making decisions and discerning God's will. Or it goes something like this: get as much training and equipping as possible to improve your leadership skills, but get training and equipping for your marriage and singleness only if you've got problems or if you're in a crisis. What this misses is that our whole life as leaders is meant to bear witness to God's love for the world, but we do so in different ways as marrieds or singles. So when leading out of your marriage, what that looks like is marriage is your first ambition. Marriage is your first passion. Marriage is your loudest gospel message. So when leading out of your singleness, it also is quite different. We are, as singles, we're being intentional about the kind of single God has called us to be. So if you're single, either we're vocational celibates, and we'll talk about that, or dedicated celibates. And secondly, a healthy singleness then becomes your first ambition as a leader. And then finally, a healthy singleness is actually your loudest gospel message to the world. So be sure to take your leading out of your marriage or singleness assessment on pages 88 and 89 and see if you can isolate your greatest challenge to lead out of your marriage or singleness and your greatest fear. And then, what might be one practical step you can take as a Christian leader to make marriage or singleness your first priority as a Christ follower? This is a very paradigm-shifting chapter with real paradigm-shifting content. So take your time to prayerfully sift and read through it, and then watch God change both you and your team.